It's time for a rematch of the Clash for Cash. Is that right, Chad?
Games Cash Masters.
I was close.
The Clash for Cash was the thing that was Astralis versus VP. Happened last year.
That's right.
I think it was about June.
Right.
Astralis won.
You know what?
I was there.
Chad, everyone can win when you're using an Intel processor. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Chad, you have one of them, right?
Definitely. I have several Intel processors actually sitting in a drawer at home.
Nice, man. Maybe you can put all those to work someday. Now, with that said, of course, you can also imagine just how important it is to have that processor, just as it is to come into these matches prepared. Give me a little bit of something here in which maybe a silver lining for each. Keep it very vague, though, Chad.
You want a silver lining for each. I think the silver lining for Ego is the fact that Heroic have just come off the back of 2 losses. The silver lining for Heroic is that they have toppled this team, as you mentioned, at the Games Cash Masters in quite a stunning fashion, 16-2, 16-5. That's on LAN, bro.
That is on LAN. And Chad, you know what time it is, right?
I think I know what time it is.
Yeah.
Phone presents the pre-match.
The Vodafone pre-match. It's exactly that time. We do have the likes of Heroic and AGO kicking it off here across 2 maps, which will be Train and Dust 2. Chatty B, my goodness, you've said it best over there on the screen. It's pretty simple to say that these aren't the super top-tier teams within the Pro League.
No, in case you just missed our closing segment from the last matchup, these are teams who are towards the bottom of the barrel. These aren't the squads at all who we'll be expecting to see in the top 7. There's always a chance for them to appear. You know, I'm not going to completely rule them out, but what these guys are actually playing for is when you play an opponent who's also probably considered to be in that bottom 5, you want to be getting those victories because that's how you keep your head above water. That's how you stay out of relegation. That's how you give yourself another chance going into Season 9 of ESL Pro League. Feels weird to say. We've just started Season bloody 8. We're 4 days in, but this is the reality for some of these teams. It's about survival.
Yeah, and also the other reality is, I think you've said it best. Yes, every game does count towards that road to Odense, but also for some of these teams that are vying for those final spots within the finals themselves. Yeah, these games will amount to a much bigger deal at the end of the season when it comes down to determining who's going to be fighting for their lifeline here.
Well, that's the thing. These guys also have a chance to play spoiler, right? Not only are they trying to protect themselves, if by getting upset victories over other teams, if you do beat a Ninjas in Pajamas, if you do beat a Space Soldiers, the teams that we're going to consider to be on the cusp of those top 7 teams, that really could ruin their finals chances. And literally, you have to actually drive to Odense. I'm pretty sure you land in Copenhagen and it takes 3 hours to get there.
And we will find that out indeed, won't we, Chad? Check it out. We do have that Heroic AGO, and our first match is going to be on Train. So let's start centering the conversation around Heroic.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at Heroic, I always look towards S-Tag. I'm the one who's, I'm basically, I think I'm the only S-Tag fanboy out there, right? But when he's playing well, I think that they're probably the best because you look at Freiburg, you look at Modi, they're not going to be star fraggers. They're just the supportive backbone of the team. Both very experienced players. If you don't know what Freiburg's done in CSGO, you've obviously been sleeping under a rock for the last 3 or 4 years. And then you got Modi, who historically, you know, in 1.6, he was a fantastic player. Towards the end of 1.6, Modi was in the best 1.6 team, which was Fnatic at the time. You also have to consider, now we move to the younger players, the newer generation. Ascillion, he's played under the SK banner for some time. Now he's come into this team, well, some time ago, actually. Now he's come into this team. He's the in-game leader. He's a young, fresh face. You've got Mertz on that AWP, and S-Tag is the one who I look to potentially be that star of this unit, who does have sporadic up and down performances. So that basically covers the bases, but going into Train specifically, there is a chance for that double AWP setup. We did see Mertz playing it and having a good game earlier throughout Pro League week. It's just, I think these guys are more of a brawly team. That's where I look at their T-side style. They'll do their set pieces, and then it's how they play the mid-rounds, which is maybe the highlight for them.
Perhaps the highlight. In fact, we can highlight some of their stuff looking into their matches, at least, you know, what they have played thus far coming into the season. But we can talk about the veterancy in the squad just a little bit more. I mean, let's talk about the things that Freiburg brings to this lineup, having come from this legendary 87-0 lineup. What exactly is it that Freiburg can do for these guys in Heroic?
I actually think this is a really cool give and take because when you were in NIP for so long, when you were winning majors, when you had that 87-0 streak, you are a very experienced player. But eventually, it's not that you begin to rest on your laurels. It just happens naturally that you fall into certain roles within the team and you don't get to explore or try new things. And we all like to explore and try new things. That's something that he is allowed to do in this Heroic roster. He he can actually play outside of his comfort zone. He can do different roles, different bits and pieces. So the team is allowing him to reinvent himself as a player while he is giving the team that much needed experience that some of the players, some of the younger members don't necessarily have.
Well, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and flip the script now. We do have just under a minute. Things are moving speedily, of course. Let's talk about AGO and perhaps what it is that they can do here. This isn't necessarily a team of the most known players, but, you know, they are a one-of-a-kind and perhaps even the one and only.
Well, yes, he is in the team, that's for sure. But the biggest, I guess, drama for these guys is the fact that the primary AWPer of Snatchy has been pinched. He's gone over to VP. You look at this team now, you know, it's a big question mark about where they'll be going because the Polish scene is in limbo. It's hard to put too much stock into them. They have had some, I don't even know if I'd say decent results anymore, but I guess we were talking about veterancy. You have to think about Gruby and Furlan, who have both played at majors respectively themselves.
Now, this team is one that we could always see battling through the Mountain Dew League. This was one that we could always see fighting their way through the ranks in a different fashion, so to say. But I guess I have to ask, will there be enough here for them to conjure up a heroic that is constantly put in the limelight or put in the spotlight of some of the more known tournaments?
Well, they're, I would say, embattled at the moment based off the fact that they had just lost to G2, right? The vibe in the camp after losing 2 maps to start off the evening is probably not hot. So that's one advantage I think AGO has going into this one.
Cool. Well, Chad, if you had to be a guessing man, not a betting man, because we don't do that.
Betting is not good.
If you had to do some guessing here and on train, where would you see this one landing?
I think that I would actually lean towards Heroic. I think, you know, they're warmed up. I'm trying to paint pros and cons for everything, but I think Heroic are just a better team. I think they have, you know, a better understanding of the game and playing off of each other. And the potential for Mertz to light up the scoreboard with the AWP on this map is it's definitely there.
It's definitely there, and 100%. We are there with it. In fact, we even got the 2 commentators. We're going to be bringing it right down the barrels into the train yard. My goodness, what's wrong with my words today? Let's go ahead and give it over to Harry and Hugo, who will be delivering it with their mouths.
Well, that's a skill we learned well from you, Trace. Thank you very much. Yeah, excited to get into this one, as always. But I think it's an interesting point, especially coming into this game, talking about the AWPs. This is, you know, in past, always been a great map for AGO, especially when they had Snatchy on the roster. That was always, you know, wonderful to see him getting so many opening kills. Now when we have Heroic with such a strong double AWP presence, and AGO losing their best player, that being Snatchy, I think that really throws a spanner in the works here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Heroic have a fairly easy job on this map as a result. Of course, let's talk about Sparrow, though. He has been good on this team recently, so maybe that's something for AGO to look on the right side of.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Hugo. I'm thinking this is an AGO map all day long. You know, this the Heroic guys, they look pretty good thus far. The one thing that's going to be interesting is you know, heading into trade, it lends itself quite well to that double AWP that we can see come in between Mertz and S-Tag. You know, that's something that I think is going to be interesting here for the Heroic guys. Because, you know, S-Tag's someone we spoke a lot about in that sense, right? He's had like, this is his 2nd time being in this team now. This time he's filling the boots, or he was at first, of Yugi until they brought in Mertz. You know, now the dedicated AWPer within this squad. S-Tag was actually having a fantastic time of things, being able to, you know, have that big green gun in hand. He looked fantastic with it. And I think, you know, that's going to be something that they're going to look to bring out as early as they can over on their CT side. Right now, though, Hugo, they're on the T side. Taking a look at the odds, this is split evenly right down the middle, exactly 50-50.
Yeah, not a surprise, but you know what it is? Mertz bursting in the face of Sparrow down the pop dog, already finding the only kill for Heroic. They're running over this site like wild men. Mertz not done with one, he will double it, shooting Towel through the connector. Ruby even getting 1 frag, but that's all that we'll see here from AGO for the time being. PHR, last man alive, and even with that single kill, there's just too many Danes, Swedes, everything all over this bomb site. I don't think PHR is going to have an easy job of getting back in, especially not with the flank from Modi as well, to make things even more difficult. You can't even find a player. Heroic aren't peeking, they're playing passive and safe. They've spotted him, he made a noise dropping off the train. Now, ooh, nice shot to Mertz, but this won't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. This round is truly done, and Freiburg will finish it with a bullet to the head. For 1-0 for Heroic.
Yeah, grabbing an early pistol round here for the Scandinavian boys. It is going to be them getting off to a good start on their T side for AGO. Just going to have to be a force buy here into this round. I'm curious to see what the investment's going to look like. Are we going to see Sparrow taking an early save to pick up that AWP? PHR now going to be donning the scout. A couple of nades board up. I'm curious where those get thrown. If it's going to be more of a stack, or if they just have that for something a little bit later in the round. Already one of those nades have been thrown out, hasn't done any damage. So $300 down at the drain. Heroic Going to be setting up to try and take control of Ivy. Now Furlan and PHR lie in wait here with a D. Going to scout. They go ahead and set up Freiburg in this position and now just look to go ahead and back away.
Furlan hoping for a lucky shot down Ivy. Heroic grouping up for the 4-on-A attack, but smoke's being set up outside of that A bomb site. It's just Freiburg alone here on Ivy to try and draw the attention away of AGO, meaning not every player can focus on that A main position where the majority of these Ts would come out. But for now, unsure, because this bomb is taking its time now with the nades going over the top. They will be committing. Ruby, nice start off there from the top with the CZ, but Asilian keeps things in check and trades right away. Freiburg's out of the Ivy, but not for long, because Furlan's found the Deeg from the back of the site, and we even have a flank coming out from AGO. They definitely have some footway into this round. Can they make it possible? Who knows, because PHR's also taken another kill, and Heroic have 2 tagged up players, one more so than the other. Mertz does catch the flank, but it's a 2v2 and Modi snuck by.
Yeah, Modi's actually ducked right down beneath the crosshair of Furlan, gone right by him. Gonna be very thankful he was born as short as he was as he snuck on past this crosshair. Furlan will be undetected for now. And there's Mertz to finish him off. PHR left in a 1v2. But you look at the HP on Mertz and Modi. One shot from this scout is all that's going to be required to take them down. He's already looking hesitant, though. He started to fall back. Going to try and take the fight maybe from Connector. As that clock ticks down, though, the likelihood that we see PHR goes for this does start to diminish. That's such a shame. This AWP going to hit like a truck to these players that are tagged down within inches of their life. One of those being Modi. He's going to offer himself up, and now we're into a 1v1. But that time, that's the real issue right now for Ago. They know that this could be their round, and he reads it well. He anticipates where Mertz is, but he's not going to be able to find the kill. Backs away. There was a rifle back there. I think that was the AK he could have gone ahead and retrieved, but he's going to hold on to the scout. Maybe now going to look to run in once the bomb goes off, and indeed he does. It's a little bit safer. He doesn't get anything, though.
Yeah, the bomb blew the gun out of position. And he wasn't there to even spot the angle that it went from as well. So I think it was, if he walked down through Ivy and he turned right behind the green train, I think he would have found it there. That's probably the bomb trajectory, but... Yeah, unfortunate, not the end of the world.
You got your protractor out, measuring all the angles.
I know my angles, Harry. I've been watching Astralis demos.
Yeah, you know, you've calculated the force of the bomb, the distance from it, how far it's gonna go.
Call me 3 clicks, Hugo. You know, I've got all the stats. Doesn't really roll off the tongue the same way.
No, sadly not. But you know, Hugo does just feel like an offensive word in your mouth anyway, doesn't it? So,
all right.
Technical pause called in though. It's going to come to an end nice and quick, so probably just something small, maybe very minute. Probably an issue with communications, Hugo. That's normally what it is. That's the go-to for teams.
Yeah.
Taking a look at this, though. 2-0 lead for Heroic. That comes down to the wire. That's something to bear in mind, you know. It was looking like it could have been a clutch for PHR. Now he still has that scout to play around with. Heroic buying up into this one. Asilian and Freiburg going to be on those Mac 10s, a chance for them to make some money versus those ecoing players on AGO. But they're not going to be given that chance to start to build up a buffer of cash unless they keep this round clean.
Well, Ivy isn't much of a contest here for Heroic. The Deagle on the other side of the smoke is just overwhelmed by Asilian diving through, and Freiburg, a similar scenario on the other side of things. Heroic are going to take this A site without too much resistance from the Polish players. Ooh. And Sparrow as well, even getting dinked there through the stairs. Not going to make it easy for him. Asilian finding his second kill, and it is just the scout left up. Does duck below the flashbang, but yeah, PHR. Doesn't matter if he goes down here, he's going to be rebuying anyway. We have the money for the AWP for AGO, alas, armorless. And they go straight in for it, Harry. Sparrow pulling that up. PHR not going for the secondary AWP, but you wouldn't want 2 armorless players in their first buy round. That's certainly not a good idea against potential bonus that Heroic would be running. So 2 SMGs still here, and that's always dangerous.
Yeah, especially when one of those Mac 10s going to be over on Mertz. All it takes is for him to uncover Sparrow, and suddenly that AWP can be retrieved by someone who you definitely rather didn't have access to it. It's a fast play in towards A. PHR going to nade out Modi, will be traded swiftly, but here's Sparrow chiming in with that AWP. Furlan and Toa going to go to manage a couple of frags between them, and that's a very, very fast round. Blink and you'll miss it. A little too violent for TV as AGO going to pick themselves up the first here. on their first rifle. That was the bonus round for the most part from Heroic. They can still get a buy up here. They could even go into a double up if they were really feeling mental, but they're over on the T sets. There's no way that they should be doing it. And we're going to see Mertzke picking up the AWP.
Yeah, that's not a worry for Heroic. Again, it was a bonus round. They can get this reset here, and of course, with that AWP on Mertz, it's definitely going to be something that AGO would expect to come through after seeing SMGs in the previous. So they've got to be very careful. Tao already pushed up on B. He's got Sparrow as well, taking his attention. I like this setup because Sparrow on the ramp, he's just holding an angle with the AWP. If Heroic peek up towards the ramp, he gets a shot. Even if he misses, they're going to be focused on that ramp, and that will allow Tao to wide strafe from the top of heaven and maybe get a kill. But for now, Heroic avoiding that B bomb site. They put pressure on Pop, but a Molotov will hold them back. And a further smoke from PHR. We've still even got two players from AGO playing close up towards his T-Con, PHR and Groovy. Heroic looking like they want to take A later in the round, but oh no, Sparrow's just been wallbanged out of this one by Modi down on B ramp. That's an unfortunate start. And Tao won't even peek out to try and trade his teammate, so Heroic get away scot-free with a man advantage, and now set up for this A play.
Oh, they're setting up for the A play, but they're going to have to wait before they go as they look to go on in towards Pop Dog right now. Really have to try and shoehorn that one in there, Hugo. It's PHR leaving this position for now, and Groovy taking up the mantle here. Pop Dog flash reins in. Let's peek on into it. There's the one and only Power over here towards this B bomb site, and he's found an equalizer on the West Tack, but he's not aware of the man who's already down and inside of B. That could cause some problems. Modi locking onto the angle, does go ahead and find that thorn in their side, the nuisance, the man that could have thrown this whole round into chaos, but now the bomb plant comes in. 3v3 in the post plant for Heroic, and a little bit of time to try and grab some position, set up these crossfires. No one going to go aggressive. Instead, they batten down the hatches and look to try and play this on ramp and the site.
An AWP is so valuable in the T-side post plant here, so Mertz is going to have a bit of a field day from the back of the site. Already Groovy trying to close the distance, and he will win his duel to Asilian. That means Mertz now has to step up, but instantly dead. In a matter of seconds, AGO find all 3 kills back on the retake. Don't lose a man while doing so, and there's a free AWP to take forward as well. So obviously they brought one up in the previous round, but now they've got 2, not only rounds, but AWPs here on the CT side.
And you got to wonder what goes so wrong there for Heroic. I mean, they seem to have everything going their way. I mean, there was very little utility even left over on the side of AGO. That retake comes in so thick and fast.
That's just a case of missed shots, right? Asilian tries to take the fight on upper, doesn't even land a bullet. Mertz misses the one AWP shot that he has to hit in order for them to win the round. And then, you know, there's a third kill off camera as well that comes through. So, yeah, just a case of Heroic not hitting their shots on the fights they did take. Maybe more of a case of Asilian not expecting them to already be up upper before he wide peaked that. Because that was definitely not an engagement that needed to happen for Heroic to win that round. PHR already starting things off. But again, Harry, this is only pistols, and very lackluster at that here for Heroic. S-Tag getting mollied in the pop dog. He has to run out because he has the bomb. He wants to reunite with his team. Nice shot through the smoke from Furlan will drop Asilian, and yeah, one by one, Heroic falling. Amazingly, they get a bomb plant here. AGO giving them a lot of room to do so, but nothing else will come of it from that. Doesn't matter. Minimal investment. No one spent more than $300 in that round, so it's fine for Heroic to give it up, and Freiburg, you won't be able to stop this defuse.
He certainly will not. But as you say, I mean, yeah, the bomb plant, that's pretty mental if you are Heroic. Going to be feeling happy about that one. They can now look to go ahead and get this AWP out. Indeed, they do. Mertz going to be donning that S-Tag. It's a slow start from the man who we speak about a fair bit now over on this Heroic side. Currently 1-5. Double AWPs being broken into here from AGO. Toa going to be donning that alongside Sparrow. Furlan looking like he wants to try his hand at some aggression over here towards Ivy as well. Does have Groovy nearby. The flash rains in, and now they smoke off the angle. Furlan, he hears the footsteps. A man's gone pushing through, and that's going to be Modi close left. Flash there. Barreling on in to support them and get that trade is Asilian, the man at the in that leadership role for Heroic, rather. Going to be picking up the trade, and in response to this, PHR going to try his hand at some aggression. Get so much information as he works himself into this bottleneck over towards main.
Moni expects it though. Look, he's creeping into the angle and he'll win that fight. almost misinformation for AGO anyway, thinking that TCOM was clear and maybe assuming it was a B play after all, but they still keep 2 players here, and that's the right call to make. Because Heroic, in the meantime, they've put the bomb down Ivy, Asilian, and the AWP of Mertz all the way up to this A-bomb site. Sparrow scoping down onto it. He's going to be flashed off the angle, and that's good for Heroic. That's going to give them a chance to get out onto this bomb site, but Mertz only can get so far. Sparrow wins his fight, and Groovy trying to defend the back of his teammate will go down. S-Tag killing Groovy and almost his teammate in the process. Now it is just Tao with one of those AWPs in the pop dog. And plenty of time here for Heroic, so then no rush to plant the bomb, and S-Tag will just win that final duel. AWP saved for S-Tag, and a round 1 for Heroic. 4-3 on this T side now, finally breaking back after AGO's 3-round streak.
Yeah, I'm curious, where would you place Heroic? Because, I mean, we can call them a Danish team, right? Because they are majority. Where would you place them in the world of Danish CS right now?
In like world rankings or in just Danish rankings?
Just like, Danish rankings.
Well, obviously Astralis #1. I think from what we've seen from, again, it's very hard to tell because we're early into the season, right? But from what we've seen, and we've seen a lot of North games here, they have looked pretty damn good. I'm going to put North at #2 in Denmark. And then you don't know what to do next because we haven't seen Optic play yet. They're in MDL, right? So they're not going to be playing this level of opposition until we see them at some actual LAN events. So I don't think you can place Heroic or Optic over one another because we haven't seen Optic play. But yeah, I think Heroic had the potential to be better than Optic, but I'd definitely say, again, they're going to be not lacking in firepower, but less firepower than the Optic roster. But we've already seen from that roster that even though they have firepower, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good team, and they've had their struggles recently. So I think Heroic could be a better team, but we need to see that proven.
Oh, that's fair enough. I was just curious to hear, you know, let you have your moment, let you have your time. Regardless, let's wait and see. They're trying to show that they've got what it takes to be the best, and Asilian finding 1 kill over here towards Ivy. There's S-Tag chiming with another onto Groovy. Push on in over here towards A. There's always a full rotate from Ago, so they're going to have 3 players here. Now just 2, though, as Mertz plucks PHR from the sky. So up in with the response on the AWP, but it's a double AWP here, 2v3. Once that bomb goes down, these become bit more of a burden in this retake. Toe are gonna miss that shot, and that would have been such a critical kill to find at that. Now with the bomb planted, there's already a man set up for the post bomb. Nice. Goodness, where was that even wall-lying through? It's gonna be just Sparrow left alive at a 1v3.
Mercer's so ready for that climb up the ladder. Not gonna get that far above now. Yeah, Sparrow 1v3, saving his gun though, looking for exits at a very most. But Heroic, with only 3 players alive right now, will not be chasing because they already know that this is only their 2nd round in a row.
Well, one of the things you did bring up, you know, when you spoke briefly about Heroic, Hugo, and the power rankings of Danish CS, I do agree with you. North definitely looking like the 2nd best team right now. And only time will tell. You mentioned, you know, Optic, they're playing down in the Mountain Dew League. That's the surefire way up into the Pro League for these up-and-coming teams. Only going to crack open at Mountain Dew right now.
Nice.
Yeah, you know what can I say?
Do they have cans of Mountain Dew?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They actually do. But here we go. A 5-3 lead for the Dane. Swede mix. It is just Sparrow with that scavenged AWP. Well, not scavenged, saved AWP into this round. He's got it over here towards the A-bomb, so they can juggle that around now within in all these players that currently sit here with him. Really, you kind of need Sparrow to have some sort of big performance here, drop a couple of guns, allow the rest of the guys to pick something up if you want to make anything of this round. Yeah,
these are the rounds where I want Sparrow to be aggressive. I understand, you know, it's early round, you don't want to just push straight off the bat, but playing so passive into B, if he continues to do this, he's just giving Heroic all the room they want, right? You need this AWP to be a playmaker. You need it to find opening kills. And if you just sit back and wait for Heroic to come to you, then yeah, okay, maybe you get 1, maybe you get 2, but they eventually trade it back and kill the rest of your armorless, pistolless team.
One good thing, at least, about taking a more passive approach is that you open up the opportunity to juggle that AWP around. You know, say Sparrow kills 1 and then he has teammates nearby. If he goes down, then they can pick it up, and you give everyone a shot of finding something with it. But I do agree. I much prefer, you know, a more playmaking stance over something a little bit safer.
The good part is he can save if his entire team just get wiped apart, and then when they buy next round, they'll actually have an AWP, which they wouldn't have alternatively. So there is value in playing passive. It just depends how you want to approach the round. And right now, again, Heroic have just walked into B. They've taken a kill. They've done some damage, and already the rest of AGO are just running. They're done with this round. Sparrow are going to get a chance to save the AWP. And again, if he was aggressive towards the box halls in that round, despite me preferring that, chances are he would have got a kill, he would have died, and they would have lost the AWP. So yeah, it's not a bad play to play passive, but yeah, no chance of AGO winning that round ever. Not with that setup. So Heroic, they're going to find 6, as to be expected here in this round, and AGO will have at least 4 rifles with an AWP coming up next time.
This time around, gonna try and send it. Looked like they were maybe considering sending PHR over here towards Pop Dog, and that certainly looks to be the case. Gonna take a more active stance and try and hold it. Sparrow already bested by Mertz. That's that AWP that they worked so hard to bring forward with them. Already dropped from at the server. Mertz opening things up.
Was that... Sorry, where was Sparrow playing? I missed that. Was that like a wallbang or something?
We didn't actually...
Oh, maybe we'll find out. We'll see his body lying around somewhere. Either way, Heroic, they are looking to take the safe site with the removal of an AWP on the AGO side. This has made things far, far easier. Furlan has picked it up down Ivy, and that's exactly where his teammate went down. So the wallbang, and PHR, he's going to drop a Cillian, but in the meantime, Moddy's already found a kill, and Freiberg's wrapped in through Ivy. Nice play from Heroic, a quick and simple round. AGO's buy gets completely torn apart. Okay, this is the kill. There we go. So yeah, peeking down Ivy from, or peeking down Olaf from T-Con. That's an unfortunate fight to lose. But Harry, I mean, again, if we think back old school Team 1-2-3 Mertz, right? Back in the OG days. Yeah, I mean, this man loved Train. Think about all the highlights we've ever seen of this guy. He is so good at this map, and I think that's going to play a big part in Heroics, especially T-side, like we're seeing. I
mean, not only that, right? But right now, Sparrow really not kind of having the time of his life within the server. He's been struggling, and he's really the man who we're looking to step up and take the challenges versus Mertz. In this round, he's only armed with the scout. The rest of the guys, they've partial bought down what they can to ensure that they still get this buy in the following round. PHR's managed one, but the bomb's going to go down over here towards B. That's been guaranteed. That's been locked in as they find this kill onto Sparrow. They are to continue pushing on up, trying to hunt him down. So, can he find anything as they go running by him?
Oh. You do hate to see that, and PHR even gives away his position. Mertz will catch him down from the ramp. And Heroic, Harry, they are on an absolute tear right now. This is an 8-3 scoreline on the T side of Train. You don't see this every day. And AGO really have been having their problems since the removal of Snatchy. This team is going to have, I think, in my opinion, a tough season in this Pro League. Hopefully they can bounce back, but for the time being, this is looking nice and dominant for Heroic. AGO calling in a quick pause.
Yeah, I mean, you think of some of the other teams now, that especially like some of the other Polish teams right now that are, kind of working off down in the MDL region, trying to move on up. And I think, AGO, there was definitely a time where they were the #1 team in Poland. Now I don't even know if we can call them that anymore. It does...
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. We're saying like Kingwin realistically could be the best team in Poland.
I do think Kingwin are the best team in Poland right now. They look very good. They just recently came off the back of that win as well at DreamHack Montreal. So that was interesting to see. Right, that's a tactical timeout for AGO though, Hugo. It's they're not really having the time of their lives, I think it's fair to say. I
mean, even if we remember back to that first day of Pro League, right, where they played against Windigo, that's a game that, if AGO can't beat Windigo, I mean, who can they beat? That's the bottom team in the league in terms of, actual achievements.
Yeah.
and AGO split maps with them. They got wrecked 16-7 on Mirage, then they played Dust 2 and actually won in overtime, but still, like, that's a big oof.
For AGO as well, they're one of these teams where really they're competing to try and stay in Pro League, right? I don't think, you know, they stand too much of a chance of reaching the finals. They just don't want to get relegated. And it's teams versus, you know, it's games versus teams like Wendigo, the ones, you know, the up-and-comers who you need to be winning cleanly, because you know, versus your Astralis, those harder games later on, you're not going to be picking up wins. So those early games really do matter. Heroic, kind of another one of the teams that really, you know, how much are we expecting when we look at how many of the strong teams in the league? I think this is one that AGO should at least be hoping is a hell of a lot closer than this right now. It's just been the heroic show thus far, and Groovy and Furlan already locked out of this round. They never even really simply have, you know, anything going their way. You know, the round seems to end within the first 30 seconds at the beginning.
Yeah, again, this all being said, I think Heroic are definitely going to be one of the dark horses of the season. If they made that final spot, I actually wouldn't even be that surprised with how some of these teams have been, right? We look at some of the bigger names in this league, even the likes of G2, Fnatic, NIP. Now, these are all teams that on paper are, you know, great rosters, but in terms of their actual performance and what they're getting up to recently, it's kind of questionable at sometimes. So just to say Heroic that could qualify over a Fnatic over a G2, I don't think that's a crazy guess. I think that that's very realistic if Heroic can keep on the up and up like this team has been doing since their latest pickups.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, even going in relation to that, I think it was, they made it to the finals Pro League Season 7, obviously. I think they filled in for Hellraiser.
Yeah, that's when they brought in Croman, if we remember. They had the really like weird roster moves because they had S-Tag right back in the team. Like 2 weeks ahead of that, they had Croman playing his first LAN or like top tier LAN in a year or something like that, and Croman just destroyed. He was dropping 30s left and right. I was so surprised he didn't join this team permanently, but I think a lot of that was to do with the fact that FaZe used him for a couple of events, and then by that point, Heroic needed to get a permanent pickup. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see Croman back in, you know, one of these Scandinavian teams, or any team, to be honest. I think Croman is such an, I wouldn't even say underrated, because everyone knows that he performed so well as a standard in all those events, but underused, you know? Why is he not playing in a top tier European team right now, even North American team? I don't know. Hopefully something will come of that soon.
Yeah, there is a lot of talent out there right now. But you know where else there's a lot of talent? In the server. Over on this Heroic side, especially if you take a look at this scoreline, 10-3. These guys are looking good. Now this double AWP setup from AGO, it's going to be Furlan donning it alongside Sparrow.
Nice.
Heroic setting up outside of B. That nade's a good one onto S-Tag, but you need more than a couple of good nades to pick up around here. We need to see more than that. And there's Mertz opening up. I mean, you know, we kind of said he could be the X factor here for Heroic, and he's been all that and more. He's been the man opening up these rounds time and time again, currently sitting top of the board. Modi does go down as he tries to push aggressively in towards Connector, but there's still more players here. Still going to keep on pushing and trying to go for this trade. They have given up Asilian now as well, so we're into a 3-on-3, and you can see Heroic maybe realizing they've overextended a bit too much here, taking their foot off the gas, falling back. But AGO already looking to try and save by the looks of things. Want to try and keep that AWP up on Furlan. PHR maybe even going to be able to retrieve Sparrows. An 11th round, though, for Heroic, Hugo. And one of the men, you know, we were bigging up over on AGO, I said, you know, had to have a good performance here, was Sparrow. And you think back to his debut with this team at DreamHack Open Montreal, he looked good there. He was the top-rated player on the entire team. So it really did seem like, you know, maybe he could have filled the shoes of Snatchy a little bit. And obviously, you know, it hasn't exactly panned out here in this matchup. And then on the flip side, to make matters worse, Mertz is having a fantastic game. And then as they head into their CT side, suddenly you open up that ability to have, you know, the Mertz and S-Tag double AWP.
Yeah.
For AGO, the struggle is just going to keep on getting worse, it feels like.
I think a big part of the problem was, you know, Snatchy, he wore size 13 boots, man. Those are huge shoes to fill if you're Sparrow. And already AGO losing a bit of hope in that sense, because Furlan's now donning the AWP over Sparrow. Not to say he can't AWP, but, you know, are AGO losing faith, or is Sparrow losing confidence in this game? I wouldn't blame him for doing so, because it is 11-3, about to potentially be a 12th round of the half for Heroic, but things are not looking good for AGO. This is one of the few situations we've seen them in that may be working out for them. Freiburg, though, he's already crept up Olaf, and if PHR moves any more forward, he's walking to his death. There's even Modi on the site as well, and he's going to be flashed into this peak. Freiburg allowing Modi to get the frag, even finding one for his own. And now it is just left Despero, the latest addition to this Polish team. No AWP in sight, no AWP in his hands. It's an M4 to try and get this done, but does he realize? Yes, Modi's there, but he can't land the shot. 12-3 for Heroic. A blitzing half on that T-side of train, Harry. As much as comebacks are possible, are they at all realistic?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal right now, I think, especially if you're an Ago fan. Heroic looking fantastic here on trade. One man in particular has been lighting up the scoreboard, and that's been Mertz time and time again with that AWP. And S-Tag, you know, his partner in crime, going a little bit quiet, but he's going to have a chance to bring the AWP as well here, heading into their CT side. For Ago, needless to say, you've only got 3 rounds.
Oh my god.
The pistol round here at this point is a must. And yeah, I mean, we've got a mini highlight reel of Mertz and Modi just pop it off.
Man, that kill when he killed the player up Heaven, because it was so fast, I assumed he was already scoped on the Heaven climb, but no, he just flicked up from the bomb train, so okay, yeah. Why did I not assume that? It was Mertz after all. But yeah, great work. Heroic 12-3, and Fagio don't get pistol here, Harry. I'm afraid to say this is going to be a done deal. I think they are very, very close to already be looking towards that next map, which is Dust 2. Let's get a B-Stream update here. FaZe 14-0 up against Wendigo. That's a surprise. Not in the traditional sense of, you know, FaZe should obviously be winning that game, but if we think back to yesterday, well, it's a different level of opposition. FaZe definitely had a tough time. They only won 1 out of their 4 maps they played. They had a real off day yesterday, but clearly back in good form and bullying Wendigo, so keep an eye on that. But this one's a little bit dominant as well, so it seems to be the nature for today. Modi down on this B-bomb site. He's going to be met with 4 angry Polish players, and they will be diving in. Look at them already up to the connector. It's so speedy for AGO, and with this bomb down, this is a very good round for the Polish. They may be able to pick up.
Groovy. Quick double from him. Furlan going to manage another. This is looking like a very good pistol round here. Freiburg going to go ahead and pull back 1 kill, but there shouldn't really be a way back into this. Modi.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but we said Ago they had to find the pistol, Hugo. That was a must. That was a win condition here. Well, I mean, not a win condition, but it's something that they need to do to start to pave the very lengthy road to this comeback. And it is a lengthy road indeed. You take a look at Heroic now. Not really feeling too much pressure. We're probably not even going to see too much of an investment coming in. It's going to be S-Tag and Mertz saving a little bit extra. Looking like they do want to be moving into perhaps an early double AWP setup here on this CT side as they both keep extra cash. Freiburg on the scout armor for Asilian and Modi. And, well, early on aggression over here towards this B-bomb site. Asilian creeping on in, taking a look at these odds. And yeah, Betway, the wonderful folks over there, definitely going to be leading in favor of Heroic at this point in time.
Look at this. Look at Modi. He's been boosted up. They are not ready for that. Oh dear, Furlan's going to kill his teammate as well. Hey, I guess that's a 1-for-1. And Freiburg's even done dirty onto Tao as well with the scout. This is... Oh dear, Harry. This is not good. Not right now. Asilian's even coming in on this flank, and they should expect this. They didn't hear a jump up from Modi, and he would have definitely made noise on the stairs, so they're going to be aware of the fact that this flank could come in, and Furlan is watching for it. But luckily enough, Asilian is not making any rash decisions. He's taking his time on this flank. S-Tag, big dig from the back of the site. 1 by 1. The poles are being picked apart.
Yeah, the round can't stand up if the poles all get knocked down. It is going to be Groovy 1v2. Maybe he can go ahead and salvage this round. He's been looking good. He's been one of the only real silver linings that we can talk about within this squad. He still has so much on his plate in this round. Asilian with armor, with an AK. That is as good as a buy as Groovy's on right now. Waiting as well with this crossfire setup. The idea, you know, Groovy... He discovers S-Tag, then you have Asilian in position to peek, and they're going to go walk in almost back to back, but Groovy's found him, and now S-Tag 1v1, Deke in hand, and Groovy sees him there. There's only 7 seconds. He's going to stick the bomb plant. S-Tag has to land an impossible shot, and Groovy in the 1v2. is able to hold his own. Ago, by the skin of their teeth, Hugo, locking in a 5th round here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just down to Groovy on his own. That's definitely not setting a good standard coming into the second half, though, right? They get the pissed around, but straight into the anti-eco. Heroic managed to get himself in a 1v3, was that? I mean, that's a very good situation for Heroic to be in, so... The fact that AGO let it slip that much to only pistols is a worrying sign of things to come, but however, for now, this should be another fairly easy round for AGO. I say another, they've not had many of those. Look at Sparrow, he's already up Olaf, and I don't know how that smoke didn't extinguish in the molly, but it's still there. Heroic have a bit of a setup for Ivy, but Sparrow is completely counterflanking this. Oh god, does he even check the left corner here, or does he wrap CT? Oh my god.
That's just great. Ooh. That's probably one of the...
Fastest aces ever?
Yeah, that was good. Sparrow, well played. I mean, you know, no one was looking at you. They were all looking away. It was kind of like shooting fish in a
surprised he got away
barrel.
with it all 5. I'm not lying.
Yeah, right? That was good.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one turned around and killed him. He just went... Boop, 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 boop.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've actually never seen
Yeah,
anything
there are
even
some
close
things,
to
you know,
that,
like
yeah.
you've seen something like it, but I've never seen anything like that.
That's
so,
crazy.
you know, Heroic synchronized dying is a real talent, but now we head into this one. It's going to be Mertz with the AWP power. S-Tag not donning it. Instead going to be on the M4. Modi, the lone anchor over here towards B, and he's about to be tested. All 5 players here for AGO, looking like they're curious as to what this B bomb site might hold in store. That smoke might actually tempt them otherwise.
Getting ready for this setup. S-Tag has to be careful on this flank in case any AGO players stick around to watch it, but they are fully barreled out. They are committed already. Vasilian's so blind, and he's in the Molotov. Not going to last too long. Mertz has rotated it with a kill on the AWP, and Molly's actually crept onto the site as well, but PHR drops him from the top of the grey train. This flank from S-Tag finally coming through, but in the meantime, Mertz is going down to the grenade. S-Tag has equalized the situation to a 2v2, but they are aware of his position. He's got to time this well with Freiburg if he wants to get back in with this retake. Heroic. No kits on the living players, so they've got to be pretty quick if they want to get back into this site. Freiburg closing the distance. They're going to hear him. Force that one player. S-Tag wins the battle. PHR trades, and he actually has more HP than that of his opposition. 30 points of health on S-Tag, but he still gets the frag. Does he have time for the defuse, though? I don't think so. I think AGO have that round in the bag.
Yeah, without a kit, I do think he's a little bit short. I'd love to be proved
wait.
wrong. S-Tag, he's got very nimble fingers. He's going to lock it in. Heroic. He's gone ahead and locked in another round for them. So, in the end, it's just him being thrifty, not picking up a kit. Leave it to $400.
That's a ball ache to lose if you're AGO as well, right? Your first proper buy round in Heroic, win it with 1 second remaining on that defuse.
I mean, I don't think 1 second's being generous.
Yeah. Either way, very close. And yeah, AGO is still able to buy up thanks to the bomb plant, and we've got full guns across this squad, so let's see if they can bounce back and break the money of Heroic here and now. We've got a double setup on ramp. Not easy to deal with. Oh, nice spray control from Ferlin. Converts it from Mertz to the second man. And Mertz, unfortunately, uncharacteristically misses that shot, which has made this one very difficult now for Heroic. With a man disadvantage and no trade in sight, even if Modi pushes up here. Berlin's on the other side, he's making a lot of noise. Modi should be ready for it, but oh, only the dink. As a result, Heroic going to get aggressive in the pop dog instead.
Yeah, they lose 2 players, and now they're immediately trying to make up for that, regain some ground elsewhere. They've chosen pop dog, and that's where S-Tag lies in wait. He has managed that frag on a PHR. So another man over here towards B, and Groovy now wrapping in through CT spawn. Do they take this bomb over here towards A? That's where Freiburg lies in wait. Ferlin could have secured B, but he's going to instead look to try and contend with S-Tag. Over here towards Pop Dog, it's a very disjointed round. Lack of information, meaning S-Tag and Freiburg just missed that push in towards A from AGO, and at this point, probably going to look to consider saving, I think, if you are the side of Heroic.
That's an unfortunate misread there. Not catching that Ivy flank from AGO, wrapping in through the CT spawn, and well, Heroic assume it's a B play. It is quite the opposite. AGO, another rifle round on the board, Harry. So slowly but surely, we've seen comebacks today, albeit unsuccessful. Mousesport's pulling a 11-4 half back to a fairly reasonable game. Unfortunately, losing it in the end. Freiburg knows. Oh, he knows, and he's going to get the kill at least, so holding on to that weapon that Heroic so desperately would like to keep. They don't really have much money to play with, and that's the same story for AGO, so they've got to be very careful in this hunting. I mean, look at the money on AGO here. It's fine, but they're going to have to rebuy 3 weapons. That always leaves you precariously positioned, because it means if Heroic just win one random upset round, it can push AGO to eco, and at 14-7, assuming Heroic were to win this round, you can't afford to be eco, so AGO need to keep every penny they can as Heroic force the issue into this round around those couple of rifles held onto. Double scout as well is quite interesting. Asilian throws that over to Mori. Sparrow on the AWP, but he gets mollied off early down Ivy, so won't commit to that duel.
S-Tag creeping on forward, going to try and take up position in pop. Is he ready to pearl? And indeed he is. So there's the man advantage taken, and quite critically, they're going to throw the AK out. That's for his teammate to pick up in the form of Asilian. So now you look at this round, and it's 3 AKs up on Heroic, 2 scouts as well, with Sparrow being naded down. He's dead in 1 shot to one of those scouts anyway. So it's going to feel like an AWP to that man. And then you start to realize, with 2 kits as well in play, this is a very, very doable round here for this CT side. Sparrow spotting the barrel of one of these scouts. There's the leg. Okay. He's nutmegged him, but that's not what you want to do. Asilian going to get rid of Toa. Sparrow must be kicking himself. He's out for revenge. He's lost him for blood. He's going to manage 1, but he still has to deliver so much more for AGO, especially as Mertz chimes in now with this frag on a Groovy. He's continuing the aggression. He's continuing the push on up, and he's going to find a second. That scout claims another life, and he's even tagged up PHR, who try as he might, cannot win this fight. Heroic 14-7, and this is what you were saying about the economy, Hugo. This is where it comes back to punish AGO.
Yeah, hunting down those 2 rifles has not only given Heroic the confidence to force buy in this round, but as a result, they win it, and there we go. AGO have 1 rifle up against a 14-7 lead. That, I think, is the key round that loses them the game, I think. They have got nothing to play with. A rifle, an SMG, 3 pistols. Dear, oh dear. What a way to potentially lose a game if that is the case. Heroic even have the AWP to play with as well. That's something that AGO completely lack, and as we saw from Mertz in the previous round on that scout, he is a very difficult beast to contend with. He's now on an even better weapon up on this A-bomb site, rotating through the connector and boosted up top as well, so he's got a big angle to look down above these smokes that AGO have thrown. A full execute. There's actually S-Tag on top, excuse me, but he still gets it done, and Mertz finds the bomb as well. S-Tag's not done with 1, finishing off a second player. Sparrow is now all that stands here for AGO, but it might just be too late.
Yeah, there he is. Sparrow not done in the AWP this time around. Instead, he's had to just scavenge an AK to try and make some magic happen with it. He does have the bomb at least on his back. The newest face inside of this AGO roster having to come in to replace Snatchy. As you said, those are massive boots to fill. Sparrow, 40 seconds on the clock. He does have time to play around with, but no utility. That's going to be such an issue with Heroic repositioning. That player's over here towards Ivy. Sparrow. So many angles to clear, and as that clock ticks down more and more, it's going to cause more and more problems for him. As he taps on the bomb, they peek. Mert's going to go and pick that up, and it's match point here for Heroic. 15-7. No money for AGO into what could be their last round here on Train. And there is no such problem for Heroic.
Yeah, nice to see Heroic actually displaying their dominance in this game. They've had a quite a stunning start to the season so far. If we take into account, remember that first day again, taking victories over the likes of NIP, if I recall. and even Fnatic splitting maps with them on the first day. So yeah, Heroic have already come storming out of the gates. They're now about to rack up another map victory. Is there anything AGO can do to stop them? There's a couple of kills here up on Ivy, but there's still a man here to deal with them. That's Cillian. He gets overwhelmed. PHR with the pistol has now put this back in a man advantage for the Polish.
Try and get that bomb down with S-Tag up here in the heavens. He's raining down death. He's not content with just one kill either. Sparrow is tagged down low, but he's still going to pick the frag up onto Modi. And now with a minute and 10 seconds left, time is plentiful here for AGO. There's a man out in Sandwich. That's going to be PHR. S-Tag is going to find him, and now we're into the 1v1 at 16 points of health on either player. S-Tag on the bomb trade. Such a good read. Sparrow goes peeking into it, but they're just going to miss each other.
Moonwalk.
Giving us a few extra seconds to take it, and how close their crosshairs are. Maybe it's a little bit hard now to get this one too excited over it.
I'm not sure what's going on right now. We might cut off. I'm not sure. I would imagine that. Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. This is all a big.
How do you think this round's gone down here? Give me your best.
I think S-Tag has won it. That's why I think the servers crashed. But I can't confirm that because I'm just guessing. But I'd imagine that like the server went down, and that has broken the GoTV. Who knows? We're going to be getting a quick update for you guys at home as well. Don't worry just yet. There's no confirmation Heroic have won this game if you're a big fan of the AGO squad. But with it moving to Dust 2, the second map of the series, I can only assume that is the case. So. Do you have any confirmation for us, Harry?
Yes, Heroic took the series. Job well done to S-Tag. Fantastic stuff. He's able to clutch it out all while moonwalking. So what a fantastic guy. That's going to mark the end here of map number 1. And, you know, we've already seen that he's got the moves. He's got the flair. That's this one going the way of Heroic. We'll be back with the second map after a break.